Hey everyone, welcome back to Painted Studio. It's Thursday evening. I'm Maury Curtis Dunbar, your hostess and proprietress of the evening. And we're going to work on the same projects that we were working on yesterday. So there's going to be a little bit of everything going on. We're going to do some of the drilling so you see how the holes get put in. We're going to do some bead gel work. We're going to do a little in painting, intense painting, over painting, whatever you want to call it. Because the ones we worked on yesterday were Halloween, I thought maybe we'd work on the Christmas ones today. And we're going to kind of dig right in. So let me reach over here. I saved my palette from yesterday, just put press and seal over the top of it, so we're still good to go. And I'm gonna flip the camera down and we're gonna start on our projects. So I'm also going to refresh my iPad so that I can see you guys a little better when I get questions. That'll be helpful. Can't guarantee that it'll be perfect, but it'll help. All right, so this is the one I did yesterday. Remember I said, look, you'll be able to see it perfectly. It looks great. Well, this does look, it's very vintagey looking. I'm very pleased with it, but I still have to put the holes in it because I challenged myself by putting the bead gel on before I drilled the holes. So I drilled one hole just because I wanted to see how it would handle it. And then we're gonna drill the other hole. I have clamps and clips, and you're gonna have to let me move the camera a little bit. So I clip down my board, hold here with my hand, and I'm just if I was really being OCD, yeah, I have marked it. I'm not pushing hard. Okay, I did not push hard doing that because this stuff is particle board. I didn't want to snap it. Now, you see that little pile of stuff in the corner? That's part of the reason you don't want to do this after you've put on the bead gel. Because then you have to try to get all the crud that drills out and makes this nice mess around the holes and clean it out. It's easier to do that on a smooth surface where you don't have any texture around holes. And also, it's a little bit extra work to drill through the bead gel. Hang on a sec. Now, because this is particle board and it wanted to fray on the back, I also went through with the drill on the other side, just sort of clean up the hole a little bit. And I have, I'll go in there and with a little dowel and clean out every last loose bit. But basically now this one's done. And I know the holes aren't even, but again, it adds to that sort of vintage look. I'll tie a ribbon on here, maybe a little faux sprig of holly from the craft store, and what a cute ornament that is. I mean, how easy is that to make? So we're gonna, let's see, which ones did we overpaint yesterday? Okay, so we have completed these. These got their paint colors on them yesterday. You can see the little bit of flash of the metallics. Let me see if I can aim this light so you can see it a little better. There you go. You see that little bit of flash in there? That's the metallics. So we're going to drill both of these right now, and then we're going to bead gel them. don't put pressure on. I can increase the speed, but I don't increase the pressure because, you know, these gesso boards, that backing is particle board and they can be brittle. So I want to make sure that what I do does not end up accidentally snapping the board. And don't worry about my floor. I own a broom. I sweep. Okay, the drill can get put away. I'm done drilling for the night. So now I've got my holes drilled before I do the bead gel, and I know somebody's going to ask, well, then what happens when you get the bead gel in the holes? This is what you're going to do. Or you're going to come from the back side and pop it out. It works way better this way, I promise. So yesterday we just used plain clear untinted bead gel to get this look, which, by the way, I still love this. I think this is so cute, so vintage, so romantic. And you can do this with photographs too. So if you scan old photos into your computer, you can have like all your childhood Christmas photos and put them in ornaments like this and really deck them out on the edges and have a great gift. I mean, how special would those be? So I'm now thinking I need to go dig through my old photo albums at home because I have all the families, my parents, you know, I'm the last one in my immediate family, so I have all the photo albums. All right, so here's a little bead gel, and the reason I'm scooping it out in here, getting it off my hands, is that now we have options of what we can do. I could just trowel this out with plain bead gel and that would be fun. But I think I'm gonna have a little fun with this. So we're gonna go a little orange and copper in here, a little coppery, a little orange. Halloween is very common, orange and black. I know you all know that. It's not gonna be a surprise that I said that. But I think just to give it a little extra sparkle, I'm gonna add a little copper into this mix, and it will not be, as long as I don't add too much glitter in here, it won't be opaque. It'll just add a little sparkle to the surface. So I've mixed in, I don't know, what did I put in there? Like 1/4 teaspoon maybe? Just into the glass bead gel. Nothing else, nothing fancy, nothing complicated. And then I'm taking an old credit card, or this is actually a hotel room key. I mentioned yesterday, God bless my mother, she used to travel a lot for her work, and she would save all her room keys. Once she realized I was collecting them, she would save all her room keys from everywhere she traveled that year, put her, and she'd go even and take her friends too. She'd like be telling her friends, well, we're all done with the room, but I need your room key. So we're gonna see what happens here. Normally I rinse this off because I know these pigments can float up into stuff a little bit. I wanna see how badly it does it on this because it's the first time I'm trying it with this particular combination of materials. But I will be showing you what I mean by rinsing it off in a minute. So this one I'm working to get the whole surface covered. And I see a little bit of the yellow pigment coming up, floating up from the surface that I used yesterday, which I knew could happen. I'm just hoping it kind of blooms onto the surface in a lovely cloudy way that doesn't make it look like a mistake, that makes it look intentional. Okay, and as you can see, I filled my holes. So this is what I was saying, is I'm coming in with a paintbrush, popping out the hole, cleaning the stuff off the back. I'm gonna come in with a paintbrush. I gotta find the other hole because I filled it so well you can't even see it. There it is. Let's get all the gook out. There's just a little tiny spot right here. Need a little bit. And you can see it's completely opaque, but by tomorrow morning it will have dried as clear as the last one. All right, so this one we also painted. I need a little spray bottle of water. Hang on a sec. Okay, so if you watched me yesterday, hey Desiree, hey June, nice to see you there. Thank you both for popping in. So if you remember from my conversations about this yesterday, the pigments that we use with primary elements are so intense that sometimes they can float to the top, the surface of whatever you're doing after the binder has dried. So I will take a little mister, go over the surface, and you can see we got a little bit of pooled colored water at the bottom. This won't hurt anything. And look, and all that did was wipe off any extraneous pigment that might have floated to the surface. Oh gosh, Desiree, you're painting an old garage. I do not envy that. That is not a job. It's hot, it's messy, and quite frankly, yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay, so this one, I'm trying to think of how I want to do this one specifically, because this is so cute and so jazzy. I'm really loving the way this looks. So I think maybe what I'm going to do is use this lighter bead mix in the middle, and then I'll create a more intense one to go around the edges. So I want to get my witch in the center completely covered with this. Oh, and I have some exciting news. I have new files that we're about to start loading some new pictures of our pre-cut designs on the website. For example, let me see if I've got one over here. You might not be able to see it, but this one is a stiletto. So we're talking about putting that one up. Here we go. Let me see if I back it up so you can see it. Here is the bow at the top. Here's the heel along the side. This is the toe right there. This is the platform. I haven't pulled out the outer edging on it. As you know, I'm waiting until I get the surface that I want to put the picture on, so the image on. So if I don't pull that outer sticky layer, then it's good until I'm ready to mount it to a piece of fabric. But we got some new ones coming. I just put the peacocks on last night. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, when you go into our website, paintedstudio.com, and go to the heat transfer vinyl adhesive pre-cut designs, I think there's about 12 listed right now. And I gotta tell you, I have hundreds of them. I just haven't listed more than a dozen yet. I'm going to put some more up, and then while I'm on vacation, I think that's the perfect time for me to load some of that onto the website. So a friendly reminder, next week, starting from Sunday to the following week from Wednesday, August, I'm looking at my calendar as I'm saying this, basically August 16th through August 26th, that's 10 days. You will not be seeing me on Facebook Lives unless I suddenly get inspired to do one while I'm on vacation. My husband, my business partner, will be here filling all orders online, so online orders will not be affected. We're just not going to be open with the storefront to the public because I need to get away for a few days. I'm gonna go, I got a cabin, I'm gonna go hide and just get a little brain break for myself, because my brain needs a break. For want of a better description. All right, so I'm going to make this a little richer. I'm going to put more copper in here. I'm going to put some gold, and I'm going to put some, I think I've got twigs sitting over there. So we've got copper, we've got soft gold, and what color is this twig? Desiree, a vacation's not for work. I know that. I'm just thinking, hopefully we're going to see my son's dad and his sister while we're out there, and I'm planning some crafty projects for her, and she's 11 or 12. So maybe we'll do a live with her and doing some of our projects. I thought that might be a fun one because that's not really work. That's play. And she's a darling little girl, so I'm looking forward to seeing her. And, you know, I'm always working. Even when I'm not working, I go to sleep at night and I dream of the next project. Those of you who have small businesses knows that that's what you do. You're even when you're not working, you're working. Fortunately, we love what we do. All right, so I'm taking this and I'm just kind of putting it on the edges. I'm gonna try to blend it just a little bit so it's not like a sharp line right there. Although it may look much more sharply marked when this dries. I won't know until it dries. Each time I do this, I learn a little something new. All right, this is smoothing out nicely. I just got to get this little top part, and then we're going to move on to our Christmas ornaments that we wanted to start painting over to emphasize. Now these are obviously going to be Halloween, so I'll probably pick a little black or orange or both satin ribbons to tie these up with, and then maybe some fall leaves or a little, you know, baby gourd or something like that to jazz it up. All right, I'm just looking for the holes to stick the brush through. Yep. We have to go back in from the back first. There we go, because I can't always see things from the front. So I got that popped in there. Clean out that edge. There we go, this is that one. Get that glob of stuff off. Go back through. Now again, and obviously you can see I'm going in smoothing things with my fingers. I'm really kind of sometimes dangerously hands-on with my stuff. but sometimes I need my fingers and things just to feel it better than what happens with another tool. It's a little like sometimes you put on makeup with sponges and brushes, and then sometimes you go in it with your hands just to get that spot that no other tool works for. All right, so again, it's not really pretty right now, but tomorrow when I show you these pictures, you're gonna look at it and go, wow, that really popped up nicely. All right, so we're gonna move on to painting now. I'm gonna move that bucket of stuff out of the way, maybe wipe some of the crud off my fingers. That's gonna be very sparkly because that's what's stuck to my fingers right now. So the rest of it's gonna be even sparklier. So the next thing we're gonna do is open up our paint. I'm gonna take a little water in here just so I have and I have one of these misting bottles. You can buy them on Amazon. I happen to get one free because I got it with Pattern Hair Care because I have curly hair, so they were giving away free misting bottles. So of course the first place it goes, right here in the studio. Take a sip of water. All right, so we're gonna start. Ouch, I poked myself with the tweezers. That didn't feel nice. Let's see where I've washed all my brushes last night, so now I have to check them and make sure I got them clean enough to make me happy. Because sometimes I'll wake up and find that they didn't. All right, there's my brush is a little wet. We're gonna dip into the red. And this is the hot cinnamon. I think I'm just gonna take a touch of the orange in here too, because I want to do a lighter red in the middle there, and then we'll use the deeper red on the outside. And again, we're using our primary elements pigments. I'll show you the jar so you know exactly what we're talking about. Let's see if I can show you a jar of the color, what color that we're using. So these are our primary elements pigments. They're gorgeous metallic pigments that are designed to be used in water-based materials. These will not dissolve in epoxy. They will not dissolve in solvent-based, oil-based products. These are for water-based products only. If you want to tint your epoxies, we have different pigments for that. They're called resin art, R-E-Z-I-N art, made by the same company who makes these, so the colors and the final looks are going to be very similar, but they are used in different bases. Okay, so I'm just going in on the light red area with the lighter red color I made. And because these are translucent, because of the way I've thinned them down with water, even if I'm not detailing the shading, although I will go back in and punch some of it up, you won't lose any of the shadows because this translucent wash will make the shadowed areas deeper as well without making them disappear, because I didn't create an opaque flat mixture. Just that red alone, I like the way the red made that pop. All right, let's go into this darker red. As I explained yesterday, really what I'm doing is intensifying the colors so that they read brighter and more vivid under the bead gel. bit of this color and come into the mouth. I think I need more water in here. That little spritz is not going to work when I need more. There's paper towel so I can have something to wipe off on. Okay, now let's start with a little white to pop up this areas here. This will give me a little more contrast from the background so that when all of this dries, it'll be much more intense looking, much sharper, more vivid. Let me see if anybody's got any questions while I'm working. Gosh, it's nice to see you, everybody here. Hi, Donna and Barbara and Sharon and Eva. Thank you all for coming in to see what we're up to. So, you know, this white is the one mixture that is not an actual pigment. It's just pearl colored mica powder mixed into our vivid metallic acrylic base. So I've popped that up a little bit. Her hair is clearly is meant to be blonde, and in these vintage, they usually use some yellow in there to make that blonde pop a little bit. There we go. I'm going to take a little of this blue over here and mix it in with some of the pearl. And why am I doing that? Because a lot of the detail around these bows and around the fur and the cap are actually in blue. Blue can be an excellent alternative shadow color on white. I'm not going to go crazy with it because I don't want this to become, you know, this kind of weird mishmash of stuff. So I just want a little bit down there to punch that edge up, and then I'm going to go into the burnt umber. Play with her hair a little bit where there's the brown. And somebody's going to say, I couldn't do that. Yes, you can. All this stuff, all the colors and everything are already here for you. I'm just painting over what's already there. Okay, so really, I just punched it up so that when we put the bead gel over it, the figure is more vivid. Let's set that over to the side. And I think our last one for the night is Santa. This is Santa we mounted yesterday, and then we sealed it up with Set Coat Clear. Oh, Donna, you're watching where you're with your 6-year-old niece. Thank you. I hope she's enjoying this. I hope you guys think this is a fun project, because I think your 6-year-old niece could play with some of this. I think this would be fun. Use old postcards. Use anything you got. All right, so we're going to go back in. We're going to start with this mid-tone red again. We'll get Santa's hat. And all of these lighter red areas are where I'm going. But if you watch this, you can see already it's not changing it, it's just making it more vivid. And the fact that it will be more vivid means that it will read better under the bead gel. The details will pop better. because the bead gel acts like a soft focus filter. Rinse that out, come back with the dark red. Now I know you all could figure this out on your own. You're really smart. I'm just walking you through my process and my steps in creating, so that if you all figure out a better way to do this, I am 100% for it. Tell me. I will incorporate a new and improved version of how I'm doing this in any chance I get. If it's more efficient, if it lays the colors more intensely, if it goes faster and yet still gets the result, I'm all for it. Because when you've worked in big production jobs where you've worked on huge walls and worked through big houses, you really work to find the ways that everything can get done in the most efficient manner. So I'm always looking for a way to increase speed while maintaining quality. Because if you can't keep the quality, then the speed is useless. I know it's so exciting to watch me paint little things. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit closer so maybe you can see what I'm doing a little better. And trust me, I know I'm taking my life in my hands wearing a light colored dress while I'm painting with red paint, but I'm living on the edge today. I've been a woman on the edge a lot lately, so I might as well live on the edge now. And if I miss any of your questions, please just make sure to write them out. I will come back, I read them, I answer them. I know you've all been through this with me before, so this is not new information, but I like to repeat that for our first timers here. So I'm just taking a little yellow, bumping up the trumpets, and I'll bump up anything that's got some yellow on it, like the gloves. I just want to make this as cute as possible so that it reads well once we're done here. Now I'm kind of cracking up because in this illustration it's old enough that Santa's outfit actually has yellow deerskin gloves instead of the white and fur trim ones that we're used to. Even the hat is not really white trimmed, although I'm going to make it white trimmed because, quite frankly, it would look bad as yellow. Then again, I could be wrong once I do his hair, and if the hair is very white and it looks better with the yellow near it, I'll do the yellow. Okay, so I've got a little bit of brown on that sack there, but I don't want to put this deep dark brown over the whole thing, so I'm just creating a little bit of a wash and going over the dark lines and the details that were there. Okay, let's get some green on this these little trees. Put water in there. It's been sitting there since yesterday, so sometimes those colors get a little thick. So we're using, let's see if yeah, there's a better angle. I keep trying to find better angles because I pull things towards me so I see them better, and then what I end up doing by accident is pulling them out of frame so you guys don't see them so well. And of course, if I'm looking down at what I'm doing, I'm not looking up at what you're seeing. I like how that looks. I'm very happy with the trees. Come back in here. And I can take a little bit of the light green and come back in. Because what I can see close up that you all can't really see is that there's hints of light green and blues and yellows and stuff in here. And I'm just gonna kind of dab a little bit of it in to make sure I've got enough dimension in my colors. There we go. Let's get the white going for his beard. You can see I'm just sort of doing this kind of curly swirling pattern in here because I'm not trying to cover it completely, and that'll change the way the light reflects underneath it. I need a little yellow, I almost forgot the buttons. There we go. I think I actually will do the yellow on the hat because it does match the rest of the clothing style, and it does offset the beard. All right. Let's get a little of this. Get a little pink in his cheeks. And there we go. He is completed, ready to sit and dry for the night. And I like how the pearl made his beard pop so nicely. So now he's gonna dry for the night, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll put the bead gel on him. Let me get this a little angled so that, there we go. You're not looking right up my nose because that's never my best look. I'm gonna put my plastic wrap on this again because I might want to do more of this tomorrow and I don't want to waste all my paints. There we go. So that one, I'm very happy with how these came out. So really, we start, I'm going to show you from start to finish. We start with something printed like that, just standard clip art, royalty-free clip art from the internet. Excuse me, I've got like the hiccups going. From the internet, printed out Adjust it if you have Photoshop or some sort of photo editor on your computer so you have sizes that will fit your little canvas boards. Print them, put them on your board with Faux Effects Set Coat Clear. Once it's dried, drill the holes in the corners. I will drill the holes in the corners of this. We just painted it. Oop. And I just dropped it, but fortunately, didn't ruin a darn thing. Thank goodness, didn't ruin any of it. Paint it, let it dry. With these pigments, I like to go do a little spritz to remove any pigments that might have risen to the top and floated above the firm layer. Then we drill the holes, do the bead gel, tie ribbons, and you're good to go. Now I'm going to show you this other little thing, because we did talk about this. You saw me rinse off the boards, but you can still have a little bleed that comes through, but that's actually going to probably look pretty cool. We're going to see how it happens. If the bleed on these is not good, once you rinse them off, you apply another layer of Set Coat Clear, then you do the bead gel. I've worked a lot of these things. Sometimes the pigments will stay locked, sometimes they won't. Just depends on what you're playing with and what happens, how wet something is, how dry the layer is underneath. It all works just fine. We all play with things and all get interesting and do strange and wonderful things. All right, I'm going to head home for the evening. There is a husband and a son and dinner waiting for me, I hope. I think there is. Yes, there's dinner waiting for me. God bless my beloved. He makes dinner every night. Make sure to sprinkle the love so that everybody gets to see, because we're going to have another contest at the end of this month that's going to involve the sprinkles. And just remember, even though I'm on vacation next week, the studio is still running. Your orders online will still go through, no problem. We're just not going to be open to the public. So don't hesitate to reach out with questions. That's what I'm here for. All right, everyone, have a great night. I'll talk to you all soon. Thank you.